think you're rolling it.
You have to do this to me every time.
No, you're the one that hit the button to start.
Well, I don't know. And then it has a countdown, and then it has a delay. It's a good thing we're at a counseling center right now.
We're at the right spot.
That's exactly right. I've got two brothers in the room, Gary Chapman and my biological brother, Mike Courtney. Both are one is
a counselor.
One's PhD
One
and one's a pain in the butt.
That's a.
I'm not going to tell you which one.
They could be the same person.
It could be the same.
That's a PITV.
So, Mike, come around here and sit by the. But no, Gary, you don't have to leave.
Well, of course I do.
Interview your brother. So I told you all last night we were going to do this, and we came early trying to film a walkthrough.
Oh, this way.
I know. See, it's really weird. We tried to film a walkthrough. Gary, see, you can work on this and get that BeLive thing on there. This is craziness.
We're not interrupting them, are we?
But let it be known that last night, wasn't that fun last night? And I showed comedy clips and I did all this and it worked. And then I come here and I set it all up and it was just, everything fell apart. So it's probably because I'm in my counseling center of where I've spent many, many, many hours. Not in this particular building, but beforehand. They probably burnt my couch down.
There's room for you still.
There's room and a need. But all that to say, this is a very important day because this is the last day of the payback.
Big payback.
The big payback. And every dollar that you donate right now is so cherished and important for what goes on here at Branches.
Right.
Mike, give us a little overview of what's going on with Branches. Plus, explain the shaggy beard.
Doris said, "Are you growing a beard?" I said, "No, that takes too much work. I'm just not shaving." So this just happened. I just woke up one morning after 6 weeks of quarantine. It just happened. So,
that's what everybody's doing.
Branches is great. Thank you for your support. We're grateful. We have seen probably about 50% of the people that we normally see.
During quarantine?
We were averaging about 1,800 people a month, and now we've seen about 1,000. Almost all of those until the beginning of this week, telehealth. We're seeing like this, using this kind of technology. But our counselors have been super. They have worked hard, and we've stayed in touch. We just finished a staff meeting. Chonda and Gary got to be in on that. And they've taken a lot of new clients, new people have said they want to be a part of it. So we continue to do that.
Good.
But on Monday, we opened the doors of Branches again. And we have seen people in person now. We're probably seeing 25% of the clients that we see, we're seeing in person. And the other 75% still want to do telehealth. But it's going well. It's good. Big Payback is really our one fundraiser. We are not a huge fundraiser driven nonprofit, but we count heavily on Big Payback. Our goal this year is $13,000, which would cover 200 counseling sessions. And we say at Branches, we never turn anyone away. About 80% of the people that we see are on some kind of financial assistance. About 20% we see for $15 or less, almost nothing.
Wow.
But the way we do that is people like you all that contribute to the Big Payback, and that helps us tremendously.
We are, I'm trying to work on this because no, it didn't. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, you're ready to join your broadcast.
I'm ready to join my own broadcast.
We have counseling. Yeah, we have counseling for multiple personalities.
Shut up!
And now the screen shows that too. So
this is the craziest mess. Don't say that.
This is Facebook schizophrenia.
So this is a little gadget. Gary talked me into.
No, I did not. I just had one.
Well, he said it would be. He did have one, and it was really cool looking. And and it's supposed to do something. And look at it.
Yeah, it's doing something.
Work.
Shut up. It is supposed to work. But what I was discovering was I cannot for myself, but I can be on here while I'm on there.
It truly is multiple personality moment.
That's right. And she can talk to herself.
No. Oh, okay. So
Didn't respond.
we do want to show you some of Branches, and we do want to talk to you about. But
You can do it with the phone. Just carry it around.
Yeah.
okay,
But do it. Don't. Can you do it horizontally?
this way.
Yeah, that's horizontal.
That's horizontal. Oh, that's good.
See,
Look, it is two of us ganging up here.
see where I live.
Yeah.
This is what happens. So, Gary, you want to sing a song real quick while I try to get my little thing going here?
No, not really.
No, this has just turned out to be disastrous.
It's not a disaster. It's great.
I want you to see Branches. I'm about to pick this laptop up and just carry it around.
Can I say something while you're doing that?
Yes,
While you're
please.
picking up. If you do take the tour,
Yeah.
we have asked our counselors to be as safe as they possibly can. So I've asked the counselors, which includes me, that when we are in public places, when we're back in this room, we're in our counseling sessions, that we'll take our mask off. But when we're in public places, that we wear a mask. So if you do happen to see a counselor in this, or happen to see me, we'll put our mask on while we're walking down the hallways. That doesn't apply to our guests.
Doesn't mean you're robbing the
We
place.
don't care if you get COVID-19,
I
but
would-
we want our counselors to stay healthy and well. So
See what I go through, guys? Come on. All right, I'm going to try this one more time, and then I'm going to walk around. I will say, it's just the devil. Can I just be honest with you? It is such the devil in that I have been looking forward to this
It's
for
fun.
days and days.
Is
And
this
so,
not working?
it's working great.
is it?
Is it on there? Are you seeing this?
Yeah. Oh, that?
No.
Actually, there's about a
30-second
2 minute.
delay.
Oh, is it just 30 seconds?
I don't know what it is, but it's
There's
like
about a
driving us
2-minute
all
delay.
crazy.
Yeah.
But so I have, for some reason, I was trying to get the Chonda Ruth on there so that we could walk around and still stay live. So how's that possible? Any technical? See, Tommy, you should have come. We were trying to all be very safe, but we had a little step. Look, hey guys, hello, Chonda. Talk to ourselves. We all talk to ourselves. Yes, today was the day I was supposed to be in Belleville, Illinois, and a lot of people are out of work. How many of you were here last night? We had a really great time. I showed a little bit of the Staying Alive Laughing video of the part where I went into therapy and into the hospital. And a lot of that was the miracle of Branches, was birthed out of Mike's recovery experience and my recovery experience. And it was just a really crazy moment. I was wondering if you would tell a little bit of your recovery experience, and so they'll know why Branches became so important to us as a family.
Yeah. I was a pastor for almost 25 years. Doris and I have been married now for 42 years. During that time, as a pastor and a very successful,
Yes.
I tell people I was a pastor and a darn good one. And
humble.
really successful, pastored some large churches, and struggled with my own inner demons during that time, so that I had a series of affairs. I had 3 affairs over the course of 24 years of marriage. Doris survived that, but just barely survived. And finally, at the end of that time, we were pastoring in Florida. I started to say the city. I don't hardly ever tell people the city of places. I wrote a book and changed the names of all the places. So somebody will say to me, "Hey, I lived in Michigan," and I'll say, "Oh, really? That's neat." Oh, yeah, that's right. In the book, I did. I didn't really, but in the book, I did.
Yeah.
So Doris left, and she should have left. She should have left 10 years before that. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I went to a clinic in Scottsdale, Arizona, PCS, Psychological Counseling Services, great friends today. And healing began. The recovery began for us there. I always say 2 things happened. One is God healed me. And the second thing is I learned the process of being healed. And so it's God's job to get me clean and sober, and my job to stay clean and sober all these years. And out of that came back, and I think in some ways, I'll take credit for your demise.
Thanks a lot.
In some ways, I think that maybe gave you permission to get depressed. I mean, really, to say,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
it's really interesting you say that, because and I've written this in books too, that in my therapy process, I don't know if you know this, in one of the group sessions when I was at Scottsdale at that place, they had a big, bunch of toys and stuff, and you assign things for the people in your group, items that remind you of this person when you're acting out a story, a trauma in your life.
right.
And every time there was a Superman cape, you were the Superman cape.
Well,
Every time. And it was really interesting. And so from that, my counselor at that time said, isn't it interesting that your brother is such this iconic figure for you? And I think maybe that might be right. So when you went through your recovery and was falling apart, and it seemed like you endorsed it for all that, y'all were my anchor people and you were my Superman. And then so all of a sudden I'm falling apart because my anchor human that I was too codependent on anyway, but my anchor human, was the cape had to come off, and that might be a part of my depression. You never know what it was, but it was certainly part of my discovery.
Yeah, and at the very least, it allows you to do that. If I'm seeing somebody else be vulnerable and get well, I can be vulnerable.
And the world didn't fall apart.
So that was kind of the beginning of the beginning, I say, and. Doris, we remained separated for almost a year. We didn't divorce, we remained separated, and did a lot of work, a lot of therapy work. And then 2 or 3 years into our recovery, it felt like God was leading this, and you were having dreams and
dreams and visions,
and lots of things were happening. So that as Branches was born, it was really born out of not out of desperation. There's a lot of times you see, well, we were so desperate. It was really born out of going the other way, going up and seeing God at work and wanting to make that available to people in lots of ways, but particularly financially. The place that we both went to in Scottsdale, which is wonderful, and they are great friends, and I hope they're not listening to this, because I'm going to say it's incredibly expensive, just terribly expensive. And
took a second mortgage.
And it seemed like God said, you can do this and never turn. I never can see which way to go.
Weird.
You can do this and never turn anyone away financially. And that has been somebody just called you Honda. That's good.
Isn't that sweet? See, he does the same thing. You get distracted by the stuff going up on the side.
And that was kind of the mantra, and has been the mantra of Branches, that we never turn anyone away. And let me yell at Molly across the room.
Yes.
But about annually, how much do we donate in counseling, Molly?
$450,000.
About $450,000 a year in free counseling that we give away each year. And again, the big payback is a huge part of that. So
so the money that comes in goes to the people that can't afford the hour. We still have a way to pay our counselors.
Yeah, our counselors are wonderful, and they all work at a discounted rate, obviously, but still they're funny. They like to get paid.
Yeah.
And so what happens if someone comes in and they say, I can't see anybody, we've agreed to pay the counselor this amount. I mean, they say, I can't afford to pay anything. Then we take money out of that pool that we have developed, scholarship fund, and pay the counselor with that.
Oh, good. I probably should have asked earlier that, we wanted so badly to walk through here so you could see the waiting room and hallways filled with counseling buildings and all that. But our technology is, what's interesting about this building, when you came, we started in a little building off the interstate. Remember that one?
Armory Drive.
And then we went to
Battleground. We went from Armory Drive to Battleground.
Isn't that wild? And now we're on Dow Street, which really means nothing.
Yeah, the metaphor
but the buildings,
apart.
right? Yeah. But all that to say, when we first moved in here, all of these buildings, this was a radiologist place.
Yeah.
Full of lead and steel, and you couldn't get Wi-Fi. You could, everything was out. And so they gutted this place. It is beautiful and the hard work. And I remember coming over here, you were helping to lay floors, which not a good idea. But you were painting, it was just, it's been a miraculous thing to watch this grow. And I have absolutely nothing to do with it other than I have seen Tracy
She's
for many years.
Chonda is our greatest cheerleader.
I am.
And we will
Pied Piper. I'm the Pied Piper.
We'll get phone calls all the time from somebody in Washington State saying, I saw your sister and she said we need to come to Branches. So, by the way, I'll use that as a commercial. Yeah. We do, because of that, because Chonda says to somebody in Washington,
we'll fix you. Yeah.
And it's hard for them to come every Tuesday afternoon at 3:00 from Washington. So we do an intensive program where people will come and stay for a week. Yeah. And it's just that, very intense. They go from 8:00 in the morning to 8:00 at night, Monday through Friday, and Chonda and the intensive program is very important to people. It's also very important to Branches. It helps keep our counselors really active and really busy and those kind of things. And Chonda, you're very instrumental in that. Probably 75% of the people who come for intensives are your audience.
So well, because one, I know it works, and counseling works. It just works. Mm-hmm. It's, I think, one of the most beautiful expressions for the body of Christ. But the intensives, I always go, it's like the crash course. You kind of get to the core of the trauma or something that's going on in your life, and it gives you it's like a defibrillator to your mental wellness. It's like this defibrillator. Then you get your beats back, and you're able to then find a counselor in your area that will keep that initial shock treatment of your life. It kind of keeps that keeps it going. Yeah. And that's kind of that's what I went to Vanderbilt Psychiatric Hospital because of deep depression. And from there, I was well enough to go then to Scottsdale, Arizona, which that was the inspiration of this, because when we both came through our recovery experience, or for me anyway, I can only speak for me, is I desperately wanted in my town there to be a place like that. Right. A place like that that's life-changing, that expresses to the world what the church is all about, and that is meeting the needs of the broken. And I mean broken, from addicts to of different types of addictions and depressions and anxiety, family needs. And if you walk through the counseling rooms here, you'll see one counselor's office is all beautifully decorated. It's got toys everywhere, because they deal a lot with children and all that. You'll see another one. Bill has a beautiful office. There's a lot of painting going on, and he uses a lot of art therapies and so. And it's just a miraculous thing what the Lord has done for Branches. We have how many branches in the country? We have 3 offices now. We've actually, through the COVID-19, we've reduced that footprint a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, the offices have remained open. We're not able to do the supervision. We're not able to be out there. So we've just kind of set them out on their own, which probably part of God's plan and all this. Help them fly. And But we have 3 offices here in Tennessee now, about 30 therapists. And again, like I say, when we are back, we see about 1,800 people a month. So, yeah. Wow. Tell us about the wellness program. I know Josh isn't here. Yeah, we about 5 years ago, it seemed like a real natural fit. Sorry. I just accepted a phone call from but we have 3 offices. Now you have to turn yours off. Yeah. About 5 years ago, there you go. Sorry. I know it's quite all right. We also deal with ADHD. Not that anybody around here has that, but we deal with it. So did you see how we painted those walls over there? That's pretty. There you go. About 5 years ago, Josh, my oldest son, can I add this one quick personal note? Of course. Josh, as Doris and I were going through our great struggle, I went to see Josh. He was in college. He was so hurt, so broken by the choices that I'd made. And Josh said, Dad, don't ever come back again. I don't ever want to see you again.
And I understand that. I mean, he was so hurt and so broken. So that was a long, long time ago, 17 years ago. About 5 years ago, Josh graduated as a physician's assistant, graduated from in the PA program. And he called me and said, Josh, or Dad, would there be a place for me at Branches? Would you be interested in me? So I said, well, let me think about it. Yes. And so that was really a cool full circle thing.
Yeah.
So Josh began to do med management for us. He diagnoses and prescribes psychotropic medications. He also began to work in another practice doing weight loss, basically wellness and weight loss. And he kept saying, Dad, these are connected. We're sending people to him. They're depressed because of body image issues. And we were sending it, and he's sending people to us because they're comfort eating and they're so connected. And so about a year into that, that practice was going to close, and we had an opportunity to step in and take over that practice. So now an important component of what we do is wellness and weight loss. And Josh and Allison, our nurse practitioner, who is my daughter-in-law, but not Josh's wife, my other son. Yeah. So Josh is a PA, Allison's a nurse practitioner, but they do the wellness and weight loss. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful kind of value added to helping people body, soul, and spirit.
You come here and you can they prepare meals for you. I mean, it's so nutritionally minded.
It's a neat place.
I've learned, first thing he had me do is take out everything. I always say everything white, no white sugar, no white flour, no white,
sugar, bread, and flour.
Yeah. And I began to feel better with no sugar in my body and very little caffeine.
Yeah.
Because, Lord knows I don't need the caffeine, but yeah, it's I think it's a huge benefit for, an addition for Branches. Gary,
what?
I need to
go in there and weigh in.
I need to get Gary back on camera. He is by far the better showman.
No,
it's interesting though. No, it really is good.
And I'm not going to weigh in.
Actually, I was planning on playing a song on the guitar and singing.
Yeah, that would be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
Since that will add a little layer to the cake of this mess.
That would send
technological mess
into full depression, I'm sure.
Yeah. Mike always. Go ahead.
Can we just stop and say, if you are interested in donating, that this is a great time to do that. You go to the Branches website, and there's a donate button there. And my lovely assistant hold up a sign.
Yes.
branchescounselingcenter.com. The red donate now button. And that for now is triggered through the big payback. Is that right, Molly? So some of this money is what's it called?
Somebody
matched. Yeah, matched.
A match.
And so it's really important today to do that. So thank you for that.
Yes. And, I tell everybody, I even talked to Mark Lowry. I know you're listening today because you were telling your fans to listen. This is such a needed organization. And, I've helped as much as I can and I talk about it. But I think I got really burdened this week because I'm out of work and I'm not able to talk about it. And so I'm like, nobody's getting the message of Branches. We've got to get on the line. I told Molly, can we come there and do a live?
Yeah.
We probably should have planned that weeks ago. And then that would have helped our technological problems. But yeah, if you're in the Murfreesboro area, you should, you can't right now, but when the quarantine is over, come by and just see what's going on here and see how you could be a part of just helping the body of Christ do what we do best and care for the broken.
We do a lot of proactive things too. I mean, we have groups for depression support, grief, anger management. We do a lot of group work, Bible studies. We have active Bible studies going on. It's funny. I meet with a group of guys in this room, usually about 15 or 20 guys. This morning we met via Zoom, 15 guys all on their computer. So a lot of things that we train pastoral counselors.
So you guys are Christians.
We probably should have said that somewhere along the way. Huh?
Yeah.
If you have to ask, then probably we haven't done a very good job.
Well, if you'd heard all the cussing trying to get this going, that would have been, that'd have been terrible. But yeah.
So there's a lot of neat things.
Gary,
Yes, ma'am.
what's your story? Have you dealt with a lot of counseling? I know you went through some time of recovery.
Let's trade chairs.
Let's trade chairs. You're back in the hot seat.
I've had so much counseling. I think I can get a job here. And I'm currently out of work.
I just played one on TV. That's exactly right.
No,
But
I think it's amazing that whole process of just owning your stuff and finding out who you are.
Have you seen how you want your iPad back?
No, I'm going back.
Oh, it's good. Pardon me.
Good to know.
Potty break.
That is amazing.
Have you seen the church change the philosophy on that though? It seems like sometimes the whole counseling idea was, a preacher praying over you and then you head home, But and now churches are getting very smart about having
absolutely
counselors on staff.
Our church supports a counseling center.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the church is seeing that it used to be that depression was just always a demonic thing or addiction was always just a demonic thing. But the truth of the matter is there are people sitting in the church pew, Christians for years.
That are absolutely possessed. Is that what you're saying?
No, but suddenly they find themselves addicted to something they never thought they would be or deeply depressed and broken. Yeah. So I love that the church is changing its ideas and minds on that. We last night, and how'd your shopping go, by the way?
It was good. Mission accomplished. Got everything.
Did Eva Rose eat all the velvet?
She pretty much
Velveeta
ate
mac
all the
and
Velveeta
cheese?
mac and cheese. Yes.
I can't tell you how hungry that made me, didn't it? When we got off, we were like, we have no macaroni in this house.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's not a good thing. It's
Is that
not good
considered
for me.
something white?
Yeah, it's pasta. You can't have pasta.
Well, you can have gluten-free pasta.
No, not really.
Why not?
There's no really good pasta. Oh, well, there is some pasta made out of spinach that's good. And the pasta is made out of zucchini. But, processed food is just what's the really bad thing.
If it's in a box, it's bad. Pretty much.
Oh, man, that's a terrible way to say it.
That's it. If you got to open the box to get it,
If it's in a box.
think
it's
twice
bad.
about eating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you read the back of something and the ingredients are words you cannot even.
That's why I go to the store with a bunch of Ziplocs and I just open the boxes, shove it into my Ziplocs, and no, I'm just kidding. No, I think processed food is responsible for so many things wrong with so many of us.
So enough of that. You think about me.
But I'm not a doctor.
But when you came, it's kind of neat here, isn't it?
Oh, it's awesome. It is. This place is
No.
great.
Okay, we're gonna film something sometime where we can go all the way through there so you can see stuff.
Well,
I
but
can't
it's
believe it didn't
also
figure it out.
it's also a little dicey when there are patients because I'm sure HIPAA rules don't let us just roam freely throughout your facility, right? So
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you might have seen had we had the opportunity, if they're busy, it's a hallway with closed doors.
One of our-
They're nice doors, don't get me wrong.
One of our viewers' husband works for Kraft. My baloney has the first name.
Well, there you go.
I have no idea. Well, I don't know who you're calling baloney here. Woman.
Kraft bologna.
Kraft?
Don't they make bologna?
Do they make bologna?
Yeah, I think it's okay if you fry it. As long as you fry it.
Anything fried. Right now, I'm starving. We can't talk about this food, but yeah.
Mac and cheese and fried bologna sandwich would be good about right now.
Oh, a fried bologna sandwich,
Should we
period.
go back and talk about the wellness and weight loss?
Yeah. Yeah, we have to talk about wellness and weight loss now. Shoot. But yeah, I love this place. I really did. And it's a pleasure to have you here.
It's great to be here. Tommy's trying to tell us something. Oh, there's a Dropbox with that filming.
Woohoo! All right. Get
You're
your guitar warmed up.
Are you going to try to find that?
Huh?
This could completely implode. Are you going to try to open a Dropbox while this program is running?
I could. No.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how to do it.
Could be iffy.
It could be a disaster. See, I wish you could see. Oh, I could just hold the video up like that. and
You
could
could.
see it.
Why would you not do that?
Well, I never thought of that till now. Oh, wait.
Now you're thinking.
Okay. This is going to be so intense.
It's such a great tour. Turn the volume way up.
Really have to turn up the
You're just gonna
volume.
hold the phone up in front
Yeah.
of the thing?
Well, that's the only thing I can figure out. This is so important
Here's
to
your-
me.
You're this.
Y'all. Do you watch this because we thrive for technological perfection?
Well, if history
No.
is any indicator, they don't care that we're
First,
idiots.
I just have to find it
I think
first.
that's part
I
of
go
the
to your
allure.
photos.
So go to that first
Okay,
video
found it.
outside. The one
The
that's
first
outside.
one outside,
And
which
it's
is,
down here, it's
oh,
right there.
there it is.
Go
No,
sideways.
that's a great idea. Wait,
No. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop.
this is so, this is absolutely.
Do you have your?
There it goes.
Hang on. Here,
This
I'll
is so
man
exciting.
the phone.
I'm in the
You
phone.
got it turned
I'm
up.
in the phone. You in the guitar.
You don't need music behind this. Here we
Yeah,
go.
we do.
No, you don't.
Look. Look. It's
Hang on.
not moving,
Well,
Gary. You
you're
didn't push this little button right here.
All right.
Gary,
Yes, ma'am.
welcome to Branches.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
This is a God place that came out of lots of love.
Body, soul, spirit. I see that.
Yeah, good stuff right there. And look, I'm playing with this little camera gadget thing. It's really nifty.
Yeah, it was. Let me get that door for
Thank you. What a gentleman. And this is Molly. And Glenda is not supposed to be in the picture, but she's stuck anyway. Molly, please tell us a little bit about this room, because this is the waiting room.
Okay, this is our waiting room.
That's a little bit. That was fun.
Is that like something everybody would
I'm
understand?
dropping my
Exactly.
guitar. Hang on.
Sometimes
Hang
it's
on.
really, really full. I walk
Yeah.
through here, sometimes there are little children all the way from 4 or 5 years old
Oh.
to teenagers, to moms and dads, to couples, to older people. And they're waiting here to see their counselor. It does get kind of busy sometimes. We always have a lot of comments about how welcoming and inviting it is.
Oh,
People
good.
comment about the peacefulness and how welcome they feel here. They're
Very-
greeted by a
very
receptionist who is not sitting there at the moment, but
Staff meeting. This is the
Yeah,
only
staff
time we
meeting.
could come in here with anonymity.
that's right.
That's right.
You get HBO on the.
Okay, we're not watching HBO.
Hi, Gary. Nice to meet you.
Gary Chapman, this is Molly Patterson.
I don't care.
Okay, good to see you.
That's right. We're pretty
We're
healthy.
broadcasting up here on our, we're broadcasting live.
Okay.
That was kind of
So,
nifty.
so then we're inside for the next one.
Okay.
Close up. Yeah, go back. There you go. Just go there.
Oh.
Play and turn it sideways.
Now in the hallway, the Yeah. tallest line of
You're gonna get rid of
counselors'
that stuff.
offices, each one kind of uniquely designed for their own joy and love and what they do. Some have lots of toys. Bill uses art a lot, and but this is a big kind of a significant thing. It's a terrible painting, but it came out of a very strong dream that I had when I got out of recovery from depression. And it was such a strong vision and dream that I had to paint it. And so I saw this tree, and it had the verse, I am the vine, you are the branch. And I saw a building with a great big window, and there was this conference going on inside that said they were trying to decide where to put the recovery group. They were trying to decide where to put the, where counselors were going to meet. And then my nephew was always chiming in, going, I'm going to do the worship music for one of the group sessions for Alcoholics Anonymous. And I mean, we just went, it was like this big busyness going on. And my husband and I were outside the building pulling weeds out of this flower bed. Long story short, we got a building. The Lord just provided a place. Somebody came to us at Bible study and said, I hear you're looking for a building, which we were not. And when we came, it was a street called Freedom you had to cross to, which I thought that was significant. And it was, yes, exactly right. There's a little truck that was Freedom spray painted on the side of it.
Oh.
Isn't that powerful? I love that.
Where'd you find that?
Gary is being a wonderful cameraman.
Not really.
And so, when we went to the building, there it was with a big window and all this significant stuff that we would need to open up shop. There it was. And my brother began to run things, and it grew from there. And now we have offices all across Middle Tennessee. And I think we have a couple in other states, and then this is my brother's office. He's not in here, of course. And we're trying to rush through this because it's staff meeting. And so we won't run into any HIPAA laws, but there you go.
Do you know where the restroom is? I had a sudden urge. Oh, no, it's that thing. I'm okay.
It was so precious. Oh yeah. Oh, I thought it was over.
Yeah, that was a groove buster. What are you doing? Is this
I spent many, many hours on that.
your couch?
That's my couch, baby.
Probably should sign this.
My counselor.
Auction it off today to
Oh, I
raise
think
money.
she's had several. I've broken a few couches.
Well, you don't have to tell the buyer that. Come on.
The buyer.
Hey, we could. Look, if you'll donate $1,000, I'll give you a couch.
There you go.
But we have wonderful places. This is all paid. This machine right here changed my life.
What does that do?
It's not shock therapy, but it's
What is it?
It's EMDR, and it's somehow
This is hilarious.
You can watch the lights,
Right.
and it helps your left and right brain when you're talking through trauma.
Don't listen to this as technologically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let me just say.
Give clinical advice.
Yeah.
On his-
Do not take
On
our
Facebook
clinical
Live?
advice.
Probably not.
Right.
Yeah, there's lawyers circling outside.
Rows and rows of
Yes.
counselors' offices that are always so busy. And this is a very significant spot.
Could I clump around anymore? Could I just clump?
I think that was my feet.
I think that was me going to the weight loss.
I did weigh in when I got here. But it's a wonderful program where they show you about nutrition and what to eat to help your mental wellness. And also, as many people know, when you get deeply depressed, what do? Eat. So it kind of helps you
Oh.
understand your motivation behind the nutrition that you need.
I think
So
this is such a sad little explanation of an incredible things. But they were all busy in a meeting and they couldn't come and show us.
How you're feeling and what kind of more nutrition you need, what you need less of.
There you go.
It's
Okay, that's good.
I think you did a fine job, Doctor. Absolutely.
You can also come to branches and
You can also just come to branches
And
and
see
see,
what I'm
it for
trying to say.
yourself. Yeah, well, that was a little bit. That is so stinking funny. I'm sure that there are very professional camera people right now cracking up. But we probably could shoot a whole movie on this.
Oh, there's no question.
On
We could
this
shoot it.
phone. Look, they're calling in by droves right
That's
now.
right. Somebody wants
I have
that
no-
couch.
Yeah, somebody wants the couch. All right. Well, it's been a good day. I love being. I haven't been in Murfreesboro in a long time. I do come to see my brother once in a blue moon, but even that,
It's not
Not
particularly.
very often.
not very
It's
often.
not really on the way to a lot of
Anything.
places. No. If you're going to Chattanooga, you're going to like Sewanee and all that gorgeous stuff down there. I passed by it.
Heaven.
Heaven, you do that. Yes, you have to go by Murfreesboro.
You have to go through Murfreesboro to get to
I
heaven.
believe so.
I used to go to church.
They want you to see the contrast.
Well, it's really grown up. My husband used to teach at MTSU for a little while.
Mhm.
There you go. And we lived here for 26 years. My husband.
That's gone from like the little school that could to a pretty cool
Giant.
place.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Do you get interns here from MTSU?
We do. We
Yeah.
have about 3 interns all of the time. I always say one coming, one going, and one, they can hear me. One coming, one going, and one in between.
Yeah.
And of those 3, usually one of them is from MTSU. We also get interns a lot from Liberty University, Vanderbilt, Trevecca, David Lipscomb.
Wow.
But we almost always one from MTSU. And then Molly will oversee, those are counseling interns.
Yeah.
Molly will oversee most of the time 2 or 3 business interns, people that are interested in perhaps the business of counseling.
Huh.
And they come out of the business department and work with her, and she'll have them for 3 or 4 or 5 months. And so we have, and they almost always are from MTSU.
Yeah.
There you
go.
have it.
There you have it.
Yeah.
That's the scoop. And we're almost out of here.
Are we?
Yeah. It's really going fast.
You need to get a song.
Oh, I can't go. This is the only reason I kiss up to Gary Chapman every day. Somebody said last night they loved you at the grocery store, but they were like, well, we kind of miss Gary singing at the end of it. And I'm like, well, thanks a lot. I cried last night.
They had a
loved-
guitar at the grocery store in the produce section.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was like but it was bolted down
Oh.
to the display.
They weren't trying to, they were just a display or they were trying to sell it?
It was just a display, but I was ready to play this,
Yeah, that would have been hysterical.
but it wouldn't cooperate. I should just go around the store sometime and do my Zoom part there and just harass people.
This is his way of saying, if you don't get this together, I ain't
No,
coming
no,
back
no. I
over.
just think it'd be funny
It would be funny to tell
until
you
they
the
throw
truth.
me out.
Or you could just open your guitar and ask for tips
Help
and
send
see
this
how
boy to
long
camp.
yeah, see how long it took for somebody to go, that's Gary Chapman. Man, these musicians are out
I
of
don't-
work.
I think it would take quite a while.
It would not.
That guy
Like,
looks
look,
like that
he
guy.
used to
that
have
used to-
hair.
Yeah, what happened to him? So for today's selection,
Yes.
and I actually tried to remember this before we came on, and I failed. So I could screw this up dramatically, but it just seemed right. So when I first decided to leave a pretty steady position as a road musician and become a songwriter, starved for like a year and a half,
Like you did.
which was great. Quite frankly, it was really fun. But I finally got some songs together and got the nerve to go to a publisher's office and present my wares. Back then, you could do that.
Yeah.
And did you ever meet Bob McKenzie?
Absolutely.
God, I love Bob McKenzie. And I didn't know him, but I knew who he was, right?
Oh, yeah.
Somehow I worked my way into his office, and he was very kind.
He's
I
in
sat
heaven
down.
now. Yeah.
Yes, he is. I sat down and played three of what I was convinced were easily my best works, right? And he so sweetly said, okay, you're going to make it, but not today. It's straight up. That's pretty much a
Aw.
direct quote.
What a great line.
And I was devastated. I left that place. It was over on 18th Avenue. It was over on 18th Avenue, and I went to Centennial Park and just went kind of back to the back of the park where nobody was, and got my guitar and sat down under a tree and wrote this song, absolutely top to bottom.
Wow.
And it has meant a lot to me over the years, but I haven't played it in a long time. But it's all about, I mean, what you guys are doing here is helping people find out who God really thinks they are, right?
Yeah.
And for them to realize that, a lot of problems disappear when you actually realize that you're
Yeah.
you're,
That's good.
that you're His.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's where this came from. When the weight of all my dreams is resting heavy on my head, and the thoughtful words of help and hope have all been nicely said, but I'm still hurt, wondering if I'll ever be the one I think I am. I think I am. And you gently remind me that you've made me from the first. And the more I try to be the best, the more I get the worst. Then I realize the good in me is only there because of who you are. Who you are. And all I ever have to be is what you've made me. Any more or less would be a step out of your plan. As you daily recreate me, let me always keep in mind that I only have to do what I can find. And all I ever have to be is what you've made me. All I I ever have to be is what you've made me. Any more or less would be a step out of your plan. As you daily recreate me, help me always keep in mind that I only have to do what I can find. And all I ever have to be, all I have to be, all I ever have to be is what you made me.
Powerful. Good to see you guys today. Please consider donating to Branches and the people that are in great need here. Thanks, Gary.
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
I'm quaffing my hair.
Straighten my hair.
See you guys
See y'all later.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yay! Well,